I'm going to assure you right now that this is not a how-to gardening video. My gardening experience is simply experimental right now. But this is the last of the Swiss chard in my front yard in front of my house that me and my 3-year-old planted. I'm deciding to just use it and cook a recipe that I found on Pinterest that I'll link in the description box for you. And I want to use it before it freezes over. It seemed wasteful to just leave it, so let's see what we can make. And as we make something together, let's chat about the seasons in planting and grooming, and not the literal sense, but the figurative sense as it relates to life. I know for a fact that God had me in a place of pulling out roots of things that no longer serve me, or rediscovering roots that I had left over from trauma from my childhood. And it was like as I was pulling up these roots and it felt like dirt and raggediness was just spewing everywhere, I'm like, Lord, I don't want to do this again. I already did this. Maybe you don't read the Word of God, but I do. And in Ecclesiastes, it actually reminds us that it's a time to plant and a time to harvest. So I know my gardening level is experimental, but I do know before you plant, you have to prepare the soil. So it's like you got to pull up all of these roots that may be harmful for what the seeds you're trying to put into the ground. You got to make sure that the soil is at the right pH balance, all that good stuff. So before you can get to the time to plant the seeds, you got to prepare the soil. And the Lord designed the seed time and harvest time for a reason. I'm going to ask, what kind of soil are you? Are you like hard soil where if you put seeds in the ground, everything will just bounce off? Hard soil leads to a hard heart. Are you like the stony soil where no seed can actually get in to even cast new roots to be able to grow? Or are you like thorny soil where things begin to grow, but after a while, the thorns come, like the world, everything else, like conflict comes and it chokes out the seeds? Or are you going to be the good soil that produces a bountiful harvest, produces a good return? So you actually do get to have a say on what you get when it's time for the harvest to come. You have to be and decide, what kind of soil am I going to be? Now, don't be judging the inside of my car. I did reorganize the car, so check out that video here on my channel. I actually had to run out and pick up my girl and run a few errands, so I decided to cook the recipe in the crock pot. And again, I'm going to link it for you if you're interested in trying it. It actually wasn't that bad, and as you can see, baby boy enjoyed it. Now, Lily Jean, not so much. So I want to get back to the topic. What type of commitment will you have? What type of things are you thinking about you? Like literally, what kind of soil are you going to be so that when spring comes around, you can start blooming? Because you have to prepare the soil in order to get the seed in the ground. So when the spring comes, summer comes, you could be reaping the harvest. Um, you just got to get there. You just got to get there. It doesn't matter what people think about you. I always say it doesn't matter what people think about me, but what matters is what I think about me. So what kind of soil are you going to be?